Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a really fascinating, entirely objective look at a presentation that's currently making the rounds in the decentralized finance space. We're talking about the promotional pitch for the AI Power Finance Ecosystem, or AIPF for short. Now, whether you're, an active crypto investor yourself, or you're just kind of curious about how these intricate financial ecosystems are actually built behind the scenes, understanding these mechanics is absolutely crucial. Our goal here, it's not to endorse it or to bash it, but to meticulously unpack exactly what this system claims to do and look at the math driving its rather aggressive campaign.
To make sense of all this, we're going to follow the sequential investor's journey through 6 quick steps: project timeline, tokenomics, passive staking, the network plan, smart withdrawals, and finally, ecosystem safeguards.
So, let's kick things off with Section 1, Project Overview and Timeline. The pitch presents AI-powered finance as this revolutionary hybrid of decentralized finance and artificial intelligence. The ultimate stated goal here is an ecosystem operating entirely autonomously, literally zero human interference required once it's rolling. This vision is reportedly spearheaded out of Poland by CEO Isham Hakim, and they claim it's backed by a staggering 120-person development team.
The presentation lays out a seriously aggressive roadmap. They state that after being showcased at the massive Token 2049 event in Singapore in October, their foundational smart contracts went live just weeks later on November 16, 2025, and that set the stage for their full-scale official launch on January 1, 2026.
Moving right along, Section 2, Tokenomics and Supply Claims.
Now, what's really interesting about the pitch is how heavily the presenter emphasizes this specific number, 1.7 million. That's the stated total token supply available in the market today. And hey, if you know crypto, you know that positioning an asset with a super low initial supply is a textbook way to drive early demand and create a real sense of scarcity.
Building on that whole scarcity angle, they claim a current market cap of roughly $3 million, with about $715,000 in locked liquidity, basically meaning the developers supposedly can't just pull the rug and yank those funds out. The pitch is super adamant that the creators aren't holding any hidden token stashes either. Instead, they say all new token supply entering the market is generated in exactly one way, and that's entirely through user staking.
Which brings us to Section 3, Passive Income through Staking.
The pitch introduces this staking concept by comparing it to a traditional fixed bank deposit, outlining 4 distinct lockup periods. You can lock your tokens anywhere from 45 all the way up to 360 days. The longer you lock them up, the higher your stated daily return, maxing out at a 1% daily return for that 360-day tier. Mathematically, that equates to a massive 30% monthly return. But here's the absolute critical catch you gotta understand. These returns aren't paid out in US dollars. They're paid out every 12 hours in newly minted AIPF tokens.
Technically speaking, a user could start staking with just a single token, but to unlock the highly promoted team-building side of the ecosystem, what they call an active ID, the pitch states that a minimum investment of $100 is required.
All right, let's look at Section 4, the Network Referral Plan.
The foundational building block here is their direct referral income. And the source makes a really crucial distinction. Sponsors don't just earn a flat percentage of their invitees' initial deposit. Actually, scratch that. It's more like an ongoing stream. They earn 10% of the daily return on investment generated by that invitee. So as long as your invitee is minting daily staking tokens, you're continually earning 10% of their generated yield.
So the crucial point is how this all scales up, right? It scales through a rank progression system they call Alliance Rewards. Starting at the Nova rank, which requires $5,000 in team volume, you bump up to a 20% match on that ROI. And this climbs all the way up to the top-tier Apex rank. At that level, leaders purportedly earn an astonishing 150% matching bonus on their network's daily returns.
Beyond just your direct team, there's also this global reward pool. The system claims 10% of the ROI generated across the entire platform gets funneled into this master fund. Once users hit that entry-level Nova rank we just mentioned, they supposedly begin sharing in this global pool every 12 hours. It's essentially designed to reward top recruiters with a slice of the overall platform's growth.
Next up is Section 5, Smart Withdrawals and Fees.
And this brilliantly illustrates a key mechanism. This system is mathematically designed to heavily penalize users who want to cash out fast. You want an immediate withdrawal? Well, that's going to cost you a massive 20% fee. If you're willing to take it gradually over 30 days, the fee drops down to 5%. And if you agree to a slow 60-day trickle payout, you pay 0 fees. It's clearly a deliberate setup to discourage sudden sell-offs.
But actually gets even more complex with this mandatory 12-hour withdrawal loop. To withdraw your tokens, you must first hold the equivalent US dollar value in your personal main wallet. When you initiate a token release from your Turbo wallet, your US dollars are actually pulled into the system's liquidity pool for 12 hours before your requested tokens are finally delivered to your main wallet. The presentation frames this as a brilliant safeguard, basically forcing users to briefly fund the system's liquidity before they're allowed to cash out.
Let's move to Section 6, the Automatic Liquidity Stabilizer, or ALS, and see how this builds out the ecosystem safeguards.
So you're probably wondering, where do all those massive 20% immediate withdrawal fees actually go? Well, the pitch explains they fund the Automatic Liquidity Stabilizer. This is presented as a master smart contract reserve. The presenter points to on-chain data, claiming this contract holds reserves standing by to intervene in the open market to prevent a total price collapse.
Here's exactly how the algorithm is stated to react. During periods of heavy selling pressure, the ALS automatically uses its dollar reserves to buy tokens, essentially pulling the price back up. On the flip side, during massive buying pressure, it releases token reserves to prevent the price from artificially pumping too fast. The pitch claims this automated balancing act guarantees a perfectly healthy, stable chart. All of this leads up to a really defining quote from the presenter that summarizes their sheer confidence. Quote, "These are the unique and wonderful barriers that ensure this system will never collapse and will keep running continuously." End quote. I mean, it is an incredibly bold statement regarding the absolute longevity of their tokenomics.
Which leaves us with one final objective question to think about. We've seen the claims of guaranteed daily yields, the aggressive multi-tiered network rewards, and those heavy penalties for cashing out. But in a closed ecosystem where new token supply is constantly generated just from compounding daily rewards, can incoming demand mathematically outpace that ever-expanding supply forever? It's a fundamental question of market mechanics. Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer. We really hope this breakdown helped you clearly navigate the whole architecture of the AIPF pitch. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.